Hello everybody and welcome to the table. Today we're taking a look at this beauty right here. This knife is the Vector by Tangram. And so let me explain some history here. So Tangram as a brand is the budget brand for Kizer knives. So if you're familiar with Civivi, their budget brand is Sencut. So Civivi is to Sencut as Kizer is to Tangram. And the Vector here, this knife was originally released some years ago. So we can see here on the packaging, Gold Award 2018. So they produced this knife several years ago, and at the time it was quite revolutionary and it sold through. And so now it's back, and I still think it is worth picking up now in 2023, and I'll explain why. So of course this knife right here was a pioneer for its time period, because look at the body of the knife. We have an all aluminum construction. You'll notice there is a button lock right there. And what made this unique for the time, at least, is that of course this is a non-automatic knife, and it uses a button lock mechanism to retract the blade. And at the time that was pretty groundbreaking, believe it or not. So we have these beautiful blue aluminum handles, and you can see all of the machining that went into that to give you some grip, and of course the decoration of course is obvious. But being a button lock knife, again, this was a real pioneer. And also what makes it a little bit unique, of course, is the blade steel that we have on this knife. So we can see on the blade, it says right here on the back, or actually on the front right here. So this is Akudo steel, so Japanese Akudo 440 steel. And so Akudo was introduced not too early before this knife, and it was used by CRKT in their Arrows. And they actually had it in the Arrows and in the Ripple as well. So 440 Akudo steel blades. And again, the performance of Akudo is supposed to be something a little bit higher than a 440C. So it's still a budget steel. But people, when they see the words 440, they tend to think immediately, okay, that's garbage. But it should not be the case for this blade steel right here. So we have Akudo 440 steel. We have the name of the knife on the blade, as you can see, as well as the designer. So Kim Ning is the designer of the knife. And of course the model number and the logo on the blade. So nice little drop point blade. And as you can see, the construction of this knife, if you look in the interior, we have full steel liners on this aluminum frame, and it's all skeletonized out to help with weight reduction. So all in all, this knife weighs about 3.2 ounces as a result, which for its size is really not large at all. So let me pull out the ruler and give you an idea of the size of the knife. So we can check that out. And right here you can see, let me just put the blade on there. So our blade length is coming in about sub 3 inches. So it's definitely, in terms of cutting edge, we're less than 3 inches, but you could easily say it's a 3-inch blade. Overall length is coming in sub 7 inches. So like 6 7/8. So all in all, it's a very everyday carry friendly size of knife. And even for my hands, we can see right here, I'm still able to get a full grip on the handle. It's a little bit small, but that's totally fine in my book. My collecting tends to err towards the smaller side these days anyway. And we can see the centering right here is excellent right out of the box. We have a one-position pocket clip. So it does carry a little bit high. It's not a deep carry. It's just a standard polished clip. And being on these aluminum handles, it's not too hard to get out of pocket. It does pull your pocket up a little bit because it is pretty tight, but thankfully no major issues there. No major texturing that would cause any trouble, to keep this in pocket. You got a lanyard hole on the back as well, so a lot of little things are nice. No jimping on the spine, so definitely maybe more of a gentleman's everyday carry knife. And this bright, dazzling blue color kind of lends itself to that theory. Because even if you pull this knife out, and depending on your environment, most people seeing this bright blue color are not going to assume, oh my gosh, crazy weapon. They're going to see this knife more as a utility knife type thing. So it's really just cool because we see a button lock design back when it was a novelty. I mean, because nowadays everybody has a Protec Malibu, which was of course the first design to really popularize the idea of the button lock without an automatic action. So just quick size comparison you can see right there. And of course I'll just throw out the arrows here as well. So we can see the arrows is pretty similar in size, 3-inch blade or so, 7 inches overall length. Definitely a gentleman's carry. And even the Malibu itself is a pretty lightweight, easy to carry knife, aluminum handles, all that fun stuff as well. But really nice comparisons. And I'm glad they brought this knife back. So at this point in time, you can purchase these through Mojave Outdoors. And I purchased it from their eBay site. I'm not sure if it's on their website as well, but it's about 35 bucks. And you can usually get like a discount code or something to knock off like a couple of bucks, 10%. So I'll leave you guys to Google that. I'll put a link in the description, but the codes, I don't know, those things tend to come and go. But the action is just really nice. One of the original complaints about the Vector here is that the original run had some Teflon washers and they caused the action to get really gritty. But looking in here now, we can see that there are bronze washers. I haven't disassembled it, of course, but just on first glance, there are some Teflon, I'm not Teflon, the phosphor bronze washers in there. And I did put a few drops of lubricant on each side just to help with the action. So out of the box, it may not, you know, drop freely. And it's still the type of thing that you definitely want to work in. But all in all, super impressed with this knife. And even the packaging, again, why even talk about this? But it's cool. So we can see the Tangram logo here. And kind of the thought that went into this is kind of neat. So you slide it out the bottom. So we have some thick cardboard packaging here, and it's like a rope system. So you can see it's kind of a great presentation for a gift or something. But you have this fold open box section for the knife, and they include a cleaning cloth with the logo on it, as well as the paperwork that comes with the knife in there. So, you know, pretty well thought out packaging. You could easily recycle this or use the knife to cut it up and test the sharpness. But I think it looks really nice. So that's a great presentation if you're going to wrap this up as a gift for somebody. That's always something I think about when I'm buying knives, you know, like how would this look if you were giving this away to somebody? And I think anybody opening this package and seeing this dazzling bright blue color would be pretty happy. You know, this might even be the kind of knife like your wife wants to carry because of this color and how simple the knife is to work. So awesome knife in general. My first impressions here are very positive. Blade is super sharp. It's centered. There's no play. It just seems really solidly built. And so at a 3.2 ounce knife, I can't ask for a whole lot more than that for 35 bucks. So hope you enjoyed watching this video, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I'd love to see those. And I hope you all have a nice day. See you later.